Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday. Thursday? It is. I double checked there for a quick second. Days seem to blend into one sometimes, but happy Thursday. Hope the day was good and it treated you well. Obviously it's international break. There is some international football tonight, but I think Spain-Scotland is the headline game probably in that set of games. I know England play tomorrow, but I know like all of you, I just can't bother for international football. Yeah, it is what it is. We're going to talk Spurs anyway because that's more important than Spain. All right. We're going to talk a little bit around Eric Dier and his current situation. So we'll give you some backstory as to the situation that we are currently in. We'll give you a bit of a heads up as to what we've spoken about previously on Eric Dier and the situation that we've found out today. Okay. So Eric Dier, centre half, Spurs. Okay. If you don't know who he was and where he played, shame on you. Shame on you. But Eric Dier, look, the situation is he's got his contract finishing up in the summer of 2024. We obviously had offers in the summer that we've just been in 2023 to kind of move him, but he wanted either a loan deal with no option to buy or he wanted to stay. Purely for the reason is that if you are to sign a contract as a free agent for a free transfer to a different club, the signing on fee that you get can be increased because the club isn't having to pay Spurs any money. Make sense? I don't blame him for it, to be fair. I don't. You're still going to get paid either way at Spurs. Why not, if you want to go get a loan deal, play a bit more football. But let's be honest, if he doesn't move in January, he's sure as hell not playing for England. Simple as that. He's not Harry Maguire. He's not in with Southgate's clique, which is Phillips and Maguire, the weirdest combo. Not even a very good combo for a click, but hey. So we have found out that. So we've had interest from Fulham in the Premier League. We've had interest from Saudi Arabia. We obviously talked in another video the other day that Saudi Arabia is still of interest. We've had interest now of Sporting Lisbon, which is obviously Dier's old team. We've had interest from Serie A as well. And I talked previously about Roma, about Mourinho wanting Eric Dier. Now, that's a bit more of a dicey situation because Mourinho's kind of hit that, I think it's that third year now, when Mourinho kind of shows his face and he starts to get annoyed about things. He starts to become a bit more vocal about things. And that's been coming the last few weeks. And I mean, he's even said that he himself has said that some Roma fans already want him gone. That's never a good sign. So, if we're wanting Mourinho to do Spurs a job, we need him to be in the job. We can't be having him not be in the job come January transfer window. But anyway, this comes from, excuse me, this comes from Daniele Longo, who's a reporter for Calcio Mercato, who put out that on the advice of Jose Mourinho, AS Roma are considering signing Eric Dier. So, I don't see Eric Dier changing his ways and going, do you know what, I will sign sell me, I'll sign a 3-year deal. I don't see that being the case. I do see him going, I'd love 6 months to play in Roma because if I do like it, then I'll sign a free contract in the summer with that club. If I don't, then I can go elsewhere and play elsewhere and sign for a club that I want to go to. Would it benefit us to move him? I think it's the first question I'll think about here. The answer is yes. Okay. In other clubs, when you talk about leadership, you talk about a veteran presence in the locker room. You're talking about, top names who have won lots of things. Maybe Man United's a bad example, but Casemiro or Varane, coming in, we've won a lot of things. We want to try and take up this leadership and try and rebuild this club. When you think of players that have gone to Liverpool, maybe haven't had that true success, but had Gerrard there at the start of some of their careers. Then Henderson took it on with some of the other players, and now when they bring in a Szoboszlai, a Gravenberg, an Endo, a Nunes, a Diaz, or a Jota, whatever it is, you've got Salah, you've got Van Dijk, you've got Alisson, you've got Robertson, you've got Trent, you've got a leadership crew. They obviously, in other clubs, have that leadership player that maybe doesn't play very much, but he's just great for the locker room. And sometimes it is like a backup goalkeeper who, he's not going to play loads. He's not going to really play much at all. but he's a really sound head for the change room. In this situation, Eric Dier's won nothing, and he's not old to be sitting on the bench doing nothing as well. So it's not the kind of leadership you want. And I think that's the same with in past regimes of Spurs coaches, how there's reports of Spurs players turning against the coach. I'm not going to say it's anyone particular. That's not fair whatsoever. But what I'm saying is you need to start moving on the players that have been there a while. The Poch guys, basically, is what I'm talking about. Because if you don't, you can let that rot and that fest with it, and it starts infiltrating the group that, oh, I'm not playing very much. But what I'm going to do is, I'm one by one going to start trying to turn people against the manager. Because if I do that, maybe I'll get a bit. Maybe some of the guys come towards me, and maybe I can get a bit more power in the locker room. And that's genuinely what happens in football clubs. I'm not saying it's going to happen with Dier whatsoever, and please don't think I'm saying that, because I know some of you might think I am. What I'm saying is he is a big presence at the club because he's been a starter here for years. He's an England international. He's played in our biggest games in the last sort of 5, 6, 7 years. However long he's been at the club now, feels like he's been here absolutely ages. It's just time to move on. When we talk about Davies and Sanchez, people say, yeah, move down to Sanchez on. If you think about moving down to Sanchez on, then Eric Dier should have been moved before him. Sanchez would have offered you something in this system. This system probably suits Sanchez more than it would have suited Sanchez in other systems. So, and he's a physical, athletic centre-back. Eric Dier should be physical. He's not really. And he's not quick. Honestly, it will take him 3 to 5 business days to turn around and run towards his own goal. So move him on, bring through, Dorrington, or you bring in Phillips a bit more into the first team squad. You see if you can get Phillips, 10, 15 minutes at an end of a game if we're 3-0 up. And that's why I want to embed those youngsters, is giving them 10, 15 minutes here and there when we're coasting in the game. Let's say if it was Fulham after the international break, we're beating Fulham 3-0. We look at the 70th minute, get Sonny and Madders off, get on some controllers in that pot. See how it goes for another sort of 5, 10 minutes, right? Donnelly's on, let's see a bit of Phillips, getting on some of those youngsters, because at the end of the day, we do need to see them. It's the same thing with the Carling Cup situation the League Cup or the Carabao Cup, whatever you want to call it, when we got knocked out. Yes, we maybe shouldn't have made so many changes, but we also still needed to see these players in Ange's system. You can't have it both ways. That's not how it works. But hey, that's another story for another day. But yeah, no, just an update around Eric Dier. I do, in my humble opinion, I do think we see him move in January. And I do think it's just a loan deal, because he's not going to play any football really between now and then. Even if we have injuries in January, we might look and go and get in a centre-half, and he's going to fall behind that centre-half because he's not suitable for this system. Same with Højbjerg, just not suitable for this system. And Højbjerg and Dier can go play first team minutes elsewhere and do well elsewhere. And that's the key part. We're not slagging them off. We're not saying they're rubbish. We're just saying they would do better elsewhere. Simple as that. But anyway, guys, that's in the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Hit me in the comment section below about the Eric Dier situation. Do you see him moving? Where do you see him moving? Or do you see him staying? I'm interested to see what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.